Gina Weiniger, and I'm so glad you joined me today. I am starting my very first page for my December Daily 2020. This is my second year participating in this amazing project, and I am taking an approach this year that is going to be called the Dump and Dive. I'm going to just look at all the things that I have collected, which include this year the entire kit for Felicity Jane, which was my main kit I focused on, but I will be using different things from Ali Edwards and Kerri Bradford and some of my other favorites in my stash. And I have no foundation pages. I am just getting started. So you'll see me here working on my very first title page, and I'm using a foundation page that's in the Felicity Jane. On the other side there's a calendar that I'm not sure if I'm going to use or not this year particularly, but the front page is the back side of that, or the front side I guess if you kind of organize it that way. And I'll show that a little bit later. But what I've done is take a piece of packaging from a very sweet thing I ordered at some point this year, and I loved it. It was a black and white polka dot, and I used some texture paste there with the Felicity Jane star stencil, and decided that I'm going to use this little bag as a pocket. And you saw me put some two-sided tape on the back of that, so I will be adhering that to this page, which will go into my 2020 binder, also from Felicity Jane. And just love that texture paste of stars. Stars are sort of going to be my running theme. I will talk about my Christmas tree a little bit later, but I do have a stars and stripes patriotic theme this year. But I'm using some numbers to designate my 2020, and they come from the Felicity Jane Taylor kit, which was the November kit. They're white with gold filling, and I just love them. Pulling in some of those gold stars that actually also came from the Felicity Jane Christmas Coco kit is what it's called. And absolutely, I'm just dumping all the stars on this. I am in love with doilies, and as I said before, taking an approach this year to something that I found to be amazing, and that's a scrap therapy kind of approach. And I've learned that from some of my other favorites. That Seuss Fish, she is someone who had just kind of opened my eyes to how we don't necessarily always have to have a plan, but just to create is therapeutic. And we know in this day and age and time that we're living in, that has been just an amazing way for me to find joy in creating something every day. So I'm sort of taking that approach. And so you'll see me using my little Dymo cutter, and I typed out the word traditions and wanted to use that, and you'll see me not use it. It was too big and bold for what I was looking for, and I did set that aside. But currently right now I'm just stamping on a little tag, a Felicity Jane tag, and it is a tag that says a season of intention. And I'm in love with stitching on all my paper, so I stitch a little bit of a border at the bottom of that tab before I'm adhering it. And you see that I tucked in some tissue and some doily underneath that to give it some texture in the layering, and added some of that black and white ribbon that I'm not sure where I got, but it was in my stash. A little tiny tree tag that I just thought was bold and sweet, and that is from last year's bits and pieces that I got from the Felicity Jane Holly kit. Was it the Holly kit last year? Or Noel? I can't remember. I have just been obsessed with Felicity Jane, and I am subscribed to the kits monthly, and I just love using. I sort of settled on that that's definitely one of my favorite styles. I'm using a Kerri Bradford little tag from a printable that she has, and I love it. It's called This Story Brought to You Courtesy of the Holidays, and I added a little brad that I had in my stash from Stampin' Up, and I love those little brads to add a little texture. This little washi is also from Felicity Jane. It wasn't with the Coco kit, but it's a white, just beautiful washi. I'm a fan of washi and love to stick it here and there everywhere. So just adjusting that tag and sort of cutting it off. The washi that is on that bag, it's hard for you to see. that actually came has a little bit of like some glimmery, ruffly filler in it, and I literally just left that washi on, and it's sort of got a rough and tumbled look to it, and I absolutely really just love it. And again, it's sort of like it's going to be the opening to my envelope. I'm looking right now for a tiny little tag. You saw me, it's a little circle that I punched out earlier, and it said December story, and I had done a little tiny star from the Felicity Jane stamp Coco kit, which I'm in love with, but I couldn't find it. So yay, there it is. I found it, and I'm deciding exactly where to put it. Now again, remember, I don't really have a plan when I'm putting this in. I'm just using this as, if it feels beautiful, I'm gonna put it down. So to me, this is a really fun way. I may regret it. I am a planner, but I just love just sort of exploring, and that's, again, the way I'm doing it this year. Taking a gold gel pen and I love framing. You saw me earlier frame around my page. I'm framing around my little white tag, which is beautiful. It's embossed with little stars. And this is a little bit of gold watercolor paint. Allie Brown, one of my very favorite people in the world, calls it her pot of gold. And so I just took a little and splattered it on there, and basically just getting ready to see if I need to add something else to that top, and end up finding that Traditions, I really wanted to use it, but I thought it looked too bold and didn't really go. I probably will use it on another page this month, but pull out some tags from the Coco kit and think that maybe if I layer that on top, I'm just walking you through this process because I sort of feel like that's important to see that I don't always have it together. And I add this and I'm thinking, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this, but I'd already stuck it down. I decided to sort of trim it, and spoiler alert, I decide not to use it, but I throw it in my little pie pan to use maybe later. This again is that little tag that keeps floating around, and I just like the little tree and decide, oh, definitely going to add that. And I on purpose left that little Felicity Jane writing at the bottom of that tissue that comes in every monthly kit, just because I wanted to note that that is this year's main kit I'm using. I can't wait to show you my binder. I'll be showing that a little bit later. I got the striped Felicity Jane binder, and I just absolutely love it. Pulled out the numbers that I'm going to use this month, and couldn't decide if my title page should be my first day, since it is December 1st when I'm making this, but I decided no, I'm gonna make this my title page and then document the date, December 1st. I add this Love and Joy from a December Daily Paislee Press sticker that's sort of a puffy sticker, and I absolutely love it. And I find it good for now. All right, thanks for joining me today for my very first process video for December 2020, the daily documenting that I'm planning to do. And I just journaled off camera, and I wanted to share that I cut a star. I have a little die cutting set, and I had a larger one that wouldn't quite fit in there, but I made it work on the next size down, cut it out with my Big Shot, and then I took some Felicity Jane excuse me, washi tape, white and black, love it. It has little hearts on it. I don't know if you can see that, but I took it and just wrapped a little around the points of the stars, and then journaled just about my family, our intentions for the traditions, and just celebration with a special little verse, Psalms 147:4. Wrote that on the back. He determines the number of the stars. He gives to all of them their names, and just really falling into the joy and love of this season. So we're just going to put my little star into my pocket here, made from this just adorable bag that came with something I ordered. I can't remember what exactly came in it, but I had put it into my stash, and here we go. When you open up our 2020 December Daily, we have our title page ready to go, and I'm just excited to document this season. So we'll see you in the next video. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and joy and love to you. Bye.